Hey everybody, welcome back to L&L Electric Adventures in beautiful North Carolina today. We're going to do a 5,000 mile review of our XC40 Recharge. It is a 2023 model twin ultimate trim. Got it certified pre-owned with only 1,800 miles. So now we have, we've put about 5,100 miles on it, including lots of daily driving and several road trips from Chicago to northern Michigan, Chicago to Cincinnati, and then our current trip, Chicago to Asheville, North Carolina. So then we'll be leaving tomorrow morning to do this trip. In July, I'll be driving to Florida, so that'll be a very long trip. We'll get into the driving and the road trip stuff later in the video, but for now I'm just going to do a look at the outside of the car. So, looking nice in the sun here. You can see I have it plugged in to just the 110. We're on vacation, so we've been able to charge on the outdoor outlet. We have the sage green 20-inch wheels, which are pretty nice. It comes with the Pirelli Scorpions. They're good. We've had them in the snow, we've had them in the rain, we've had them mildly off-road. You can see this is a dirt road, and in the driving portion you'll see it's a pretty bumpy dirt road. And the tires have held up pretty well. Have the factory installed trailer hitch. We haven't towed anything, but we do use our hitch carrier for storage, because it's not the biggest car, but it's got the 7-pin and the 4-pin separate, which is nice. I believe that's the tow hook. There's a lovely rear windshield wiper. So as far as looks, I absolutely love it. I love this color. I love the look of the car in general. It's very kind of casual, but it just looks nice. You know, it's not too flashy, but it really just looks nice, especially in this sage green. It's a little dirty. It did get rained on last night, but it's a little, you can see the tires are a little muddy, and you know, I've been driving, I'm getting a lot of rain here while we've been here and driving this dirt road, so we've been getting some mud. So just coming around to the front, got the nice Thor headlights. This does have the Pixel LED hardware, so hopefully Volvo actually enables it via software. And then front camera there. This is the front washers for the headlights. Yeah, it's a very nice looking car. I believe this is 75 kilowatt hour usable battery, but don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. It is EPA rated for 223, which we do find we get about that. Well, especially out in the mountains here in western North Carolina, we've been getting really good efficiency because the speeds are slower and a lot of downhill. Even though there's uphill, it's been evening out to about EPA specs. And then fog lights down here. Just to show some quick features. So the keys in my pocket, so I can do the touch to unlock. It doesn't have the automatic lock unlock when you walk away or walk up to it, but that's okay. I've never had that in the car, so I'm not missing anything. Put your hand behind, it opens. The trunk, let's see if I can actually get to work. If you kick right under the V, it will open, which is a useful feature when you have an armful of groceries. We'll start to look at the interior too, actually. So trunk space is okay. My other car is a Land Rover LR2 2013 Land Rover LR2. It's much bigger trunk, still not huge. But so when we're road tripping, the dog goes here. She sits on top of her crate on her bed. This stroller goes in the back seat, and then all of our luggage goes here. And I bungee it up so the dog doesn't get squished. I do have a waterproof cover from North American Custom Covers. It's nice. I think it was around $100. It wasn't bad. You have a little bit of storage down here, which needs to be vacuumed out. Again, we've been on vacation. I have a lot of stuff back here. But this is generally kind of how it looks when we're using it. You know, we got the stroller here, which is nice. Another side pocket there. Now, I didn't do the Velcro down here because I wanted to be able to access this. So there's a little bit of under storage. Get some Swiffers and a cooler and a couple other little things down there. Doesn't fit a ton, but it's not bad. Got the automatic closed trunk, which is pretty common these days, but still cool. Take a quick look at the back seat. You can see we have the wool interior, wool blend interior. I think it looks freaking sweet. I'm a little worried about it long term and cleaning it and stuff, but it looks really sweet. We have the factory floor mats here. In the front we have the WeatherTech. Probably gonna get it for the back too. I had my parents back here, and you know, it's a little dirty when you get people back here. We do have the WeatherTech car seat saver, whatever it's called. But yeah, you can see the cup holder. You know, there's some good padding on this armrest. Here's, if you have a child or a baby, you can see how this is the up a baby car seat fits. It's pretty decent. Have a little screen over there. It doesn't have screens. I wish it had screens. Like the Ioniq 5 has the screens that pull up for kids. I wish it had that. But you know, can't have everything. You got a 12 volt and then actually seat heaters, or I'm sorry, that's USB. 2 USB-C seat heaters, dual seat heaters back here, which is cool. Got the air vents, again, great, good, decent placement. You know, especially if you got people in the back seat and for the baby, got a bunch of diapers. So yeah, it's a decent place to sit. I'll sit in here really quick. I don't know how well you'll be able to tell. You know, I fit. This seat is pushed pretty far back because my wife's been driving around, so I've been sitting in the passenger seat, so I've been having it pretty far back just because why not? There's nobody else back here. So my knees are touching. I had my dad back here, he's about 6 foot. Had this move the seat forward a little bit and it was fine. Middle seat's a little tight with the car seat. Without the car seat, it'd be okay. So I wouldn't want to road trip back here necessarily, but it's not bad. Easy to get out in there. I just made it dirty, don't tell my wife. Get some crap on the floor. Cup holder's okay. I don't know if you'd be able to fit a big water bottle down there, like a liter water bottle. I should check. They do have these little side holders, which is nice. You can put a little thing down there. Jumping into the passenger seat. Good storage here on the side. A liter water bottle does fit nicely in here. I use this for like my phone usually when we're road tripping. This is a little ambient light strip that you can't see in the daytime. So again, those wool seats look very nice. And they're holding up nicely so far. The seats are comfortable, good bolstering. You know, I don't know how many ways that adjust. 8-way, let's just say 8-way, because that sounds like a thing. 8-way adjustable, you know, up, down, left, right, whatever. Lumbar adjustment as well. You can see that we have the WeatherTech floor mats, which are okay. You know, we live about 10 minutes from the WeatherTech factory, so it's easy to pick up. A little bit of storage in this front here, wireless charging. We do use wireless charging. You can see yesterday we were using the cord charging because it's faster. 2 cup holders. They don't fit a 1 liter Yeti. They do fit the cup. Like if you have a Stanley cup or a Yeti cup that tapers down on the bottom, they do fit in there. One of my favorite features is a trash can. I know some people will probably think that's stupid. I think it's so freaking cool. We use it all the time. We just emptied it. It's seriously awesome. I have a little trash can in my Land Rover because it's so useful. Little cubby down here. It's decent storage. We keep like cleaning materials, hand sanitizer, you know, basic stuff. Wipes for the baby, like hand wipes, face wipes, not diaper wipes. Always keep a Swiffer because this piano black is so annoying. It just collects dust. So every time I get in the car, I feel like I'm doing that. Let's pop in. Passenger seat, very comfortable. Good place to sit. You can see as soon as I sat down, it turned on, which is nice because I can, hopefully no music plays, I can get the climate going right away. Oh no, stop. We have the Imogen Heap Happy song. If you have a baby, I'm sure you've heard that. It is stuck in my head permanently right now. So yeah, now that I'm sitting here, the climate can stay on. You can keep climate on while you're parked too, which is nice. It'll always set it to 72 degrees. I wish there was a little variation in that, but 72 degrees turns out to be fine. If it's really hot, 782 is going to cool it off. If it's really cold, 782 is going to heat it up. And if it's cold, if it's below 50, you can have it, I think there's settings. Yeah, so if it's below 50, it'll do the seat heater and the steering wheel heat, and you can set that, which is nice. You can do auto defrost, also nice. So yeah, I guess we'll start with the climate screens and kind of doing this jumbly, but whatever. It's a car review, people, don't take it too seriously. Climate screen, it's nice. There are no physical buttons for climate other than defrosters down here. I haven't found that to be an issue. It's pretty easy to access. You can also do the G word. I won't say it because it'll trigger everybody's devices, but you can, well, here I can push the button on the steering wheel too. So I can say, set the temperature to 64.
Got it. Changing the temperature to 64 degrees.
And there you go, change to 64. Or I can do, set the fan speed to 3.
Sure, changing the fan speed to 3.
So you can see it just turned the fan speed to 3. The AC gets very cold. It's lovely. You also have this clean zone thing where, like, if you're parking, you can do start air purification, and it feels like it pressurizes the car and just swaps out all the air. I don't know exactly what it's doing, but it's cycling everything through the filter, I guess. Pretty cool. So yeah, that works well. You can sync with the driver, or you can uncouple and have dual climate zones. The vents in the back do work, of course. And then if you don't want auto, you can select which zone you want. So if you want full face blast, you do that. Usually we keep it on auto, but sometimes if you want the full face, if you're hot, you know, you want the full face blast. Yeah, just looking around. Crystal shifter comes with the wool seat package. Again, this was pre-owned, so it just happened to be, my wife really wanted the sage green, and it just happened to be the top, like, every option. It was a very good price, and like I said, only 1,800 miles. On the, we'll take a look at the steering wheel from here, and then I'll pop over to that side. I like the steering wheel. It's very comfortable. It's nice. I believe this is a alternative leather, or leather alternative. They call it vegan leather. I don't know. There's probably a better name for it. It's fake leather. It's nice. It feels nice. The horn, I will say, sounds good. It's kind of hard. Like, if you're just trying to give like a tap, this is a weird thing, but like, it's kind of hard to just give somebody like a little tap where you're not trying to honk at them loudly. But yeah, you know, it's fine. Got some buttons here. This is volume up and down, and then track skip left and right. This will change. I think we actually have to, I might have to, we can do that when we're in the driving portion, because that changes like the display. There's only two options. It's map and like a simpler screen. This is if you don't want to say the hey G word, which if you're driving, you can just say hey G, and you can ask it any questions. You can ask, you know, your Google Assistant. It's pretty nice. You can ask it basic stuff. You can ask it to do certain things in the car. You can like navigate to places, which is pretty actual. Do that. Navigate to Ultra Coffee Bar.
Sure, Ultra Coffee Bar.
Yeah, I mean, gotta love Google Maps. It's Google Maps, you know. Everybody knows Google Maps. It's easy. We'll get a little more into the route planning in a second here. You can tell I'm not I'm not doing this in a very focused manner, but I don't care. These buttons over here are the follow distance for the Pro Pilot Assist, So closer, farther, and then this is, it toggles between just adaptive cruise and lane keep, and then this is speed up, speed down. It goes in increments of 5 unless you hold it down, and then it'll go by ones, which is nice. This is also the resume. Yeah, steering wheel, the one thing I wish, it has this little like chrome part in the bottom. In my Land Rover, you have a nice thing for your hand here, which is generally where I hold the steering wheel on a long road trip, because it's, you know, more comfortable to just kind of rest your hand there. And this one, you can't really do that. So I find myself a little less comfortable holding the steering wheel for a long road trip. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't mention, latch points in the back, very easy to access. The latch points for car seat, very easy to access. All right, let's jump around to the driver's seat and then we can talk a little more about the tech. See this beautiful spot we're at. Let's get another look at this car. It is a good looking car. Oh, charge point while we're here, or charge port. Driver left, or driver rear, I mean. Good spot. If Volvo ever does get supercharger access, which they're supposed to, it'll be perfect. I haven't found it to be a troublesome spot so far. You know, it's fine. The car's small enough where it's easy to get into any spot so far. But yeah, you can unlock it, pull the charge. I'm not going to do it because we're charging. Pull the thing out, it'll stop charging, and then you got the dongle for the DC fast charge pin, which I hate. Which was a better flappy thing. So two memory spots for your thing. You can set it up to the driver profiles. So just going into mine for my wife's, you can get a good look at this screen right here showing charging at 12 amps because we're plugged into the wall through an extension cord at 71%. Yeah, charges about, in this warm weather, 2%, 1.5–2% per hour. In the winter, it was more like 1 to 3/4% per hour when it was like really, really cold, like negative degrees. Your basic shifters here, you know, wipers. You got auto sensing rain wipers. You can do it has the windshield wiper juice in the nozzles or in the wipers, which is nice. I don't know, I've never had that. It's nice. I can't tell if it's better or not, but it's working. You got a nice frameless auto dimming rear mirror, also auto dimming side mirrors. You can move them, of course, with these buttons. Auto up and down window, you know, the standard stuff. Rear child window lock. You got your vents. The steering wheel adjusts as normal. I'm not going to do it because, you know, it's a steering wheel. Oh, and the car will alert you the rear child lock is activated and deactivated. You got the Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds good. I'm not an audiophile by any means, but it sounds good. So from here, you know, my comfort level is good. I have great visibility out the entire car. You can see through the rear view mirror easily. You know, blind spots are easy to see. It also has blind spot detection on the mirrors. You can see the little slashes there. They light up orange. It's a very nice place to be. Yeah, in general, it's a very nice place to be for a road trip or for a daily drive. So, oh, and you have this is kind of funny. Like, what? I don't know what this could be used for, but on the forums, everybody always says chapstick. So we have chapstick there too. It's like perfect little chapstick spot. And then like this little cubby, I guess for change. Also have a USB-C to USB-A adapter, because they're all USB-C ports, you can see. What else? You got this for the lights, auto high beams. Auto high beams work very well. I keep lights in auto all the time. If you want the auto high beams up or on, you just flick up like that. Fog lights, rear and front fog lights. The auto high beams, like I was saying, work awesome. I hope one day we get the Pixel LED software update, because man, that would be so nice. All right, let's continue with software. Again, I know I'm all over the place, but if you've watched any of my videos, you probably kind of know that already, and hopefully you don't care. You just like to see cool stuff about cars. Not that I really know much about cars, but okay, so let's look at the route planning. So if we want to go on a long trip, let's say we want to go to Chicago, Illinois, for example, which we're going to be doing tomorrow morning. So you can say, hey G, but again, I won't do that because I hate when people do that. You trigger your devices all over your house. So I'll just push the button on the steering wheel. Navigate to Beacon Donuts, Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, Beacon Donuts. Here we go.
Shout out to Beacon Donuts. If you ever visit Chicago, or you live in Chicago, or you live anywhere in the area, Beacon Donuts are really tasty, and I think they're all vegan except usually maybe one or two. But they're so good. They're so good. We had Vortex Donuts here in Asheville, and those are always really good for us, but after having Beacon for so many years now, we're like, eh. All right, so you can see it's going to say 12% on arrival. They're all our tolls. So again, it's Google Maps. You know Google Maps. It's 662 miles. We're going to arrive with 12%, 13 hours and 8 minutes, 5 charging stops, 2 hours and 9 minutes of charging. This car is not the most efficient. It does not have the most range, but you can see our first stop, which I happen to know because I've already looked at this route a few times, is Kodak, Tennessee, at a Bass Pro Shop. It's actually a pretty sweet little spot. And it's only 10 minutes because we can't quite make the stretch to Wilmington. I think it's Wilmington, Kentucky. We might try to make the stretch. It's like 180 miles. I know we can do 180 miles in this car if we get up close to 100%. It takes about the 85 to 90%. We don't want to stretch it too much because A, we'll be in the mountains, and B, we got a baby in the car, so we don't want to mess around. You can hit the button and see route details. So again, you can see our first charge stop. Oops. Kodak. Second charge stop. Williamsburg. You can get a little bit of information on these. You can see like where it is. It's nice. It zooms in. You can see what kind of options they have. Okay, and then EV Go. So yeah, I mean, the route planning is nice. Usually I'll kind of alter it based on our needs anyway, because we got a baby, so it doesn't always, like a 10-minute stop might not be reasonable. So there you can see 2 hours and 9 minutes to our first stop. There's a whole bunch of traffic. I think there's a lane closed on the highway, so yay, can't wait. Oh, and then another one. So hopefully tomorrow we're leaving like 8 in the morning. I don't know, we're gonna leave as early as we can. Anyway, it's route planning. It works really well. It tells you where to charge, tells you how long to charge. It's nice. I really like it. Looking through a little bit of other software, so you can hit this button, it'll go to your previously opened apps of these different categories. So Google Maps is usually the top one because that's almost always of that category that we're in. Spotify, CarPlay, range. So this is your range assistant. It tells you kind of how much energy you're using. So sitting here with the air conditioning on 1 kilowatt, and then you can turn range optimizer on, which actually I'm going to do today because we want to try to conserve range as we're just driving around. And basically that limits the climate control. You hit this button and it'll take you to the full home screen where you have all the apps. So this top category, Prime Video, works nicely when you're charging. YouTube, the Charge Point app, it's okay. It plugs to your app, but actually not. I don't like it. It's not as good as the phone app, so I just use my phone. And then you have like your entertainment type stuff, or audio type stuff rather. So you kind of Spotify, which we use all the time. Libby, which is great if you listen to library books on your phone. It syncs up with your account. It's awesome. And then it'll resync with your phone. Sirius XM, you guys know what this stuff is. Phone or CarPlay. So I don't use CarPlay very much because we have the Android Automotive system built in, so you don't really need to do Apple CarPlay. I just prefer to have the native Google Maps up. Range assistant, car status. This is basically your tire pressure. It's okay. Air quality will show like your air quality around you and the in-car air quality. So like you use Google data again based on your location, which is nice. And then you have the Google Play Store, and there's all kinds of apps you can download. I haven't really done too many things. There is a Waze app which I might try. I wish they didn't Electrify America so you could activate the chargers right when you pull up. They don't have it yet, but it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, that's kind of the basic insides of the car. I don't know, I've probably missed stuff, but oh, you know what? We'll just look real quick. Lights, you can turn all the interior lights on with a tap here, or you can touch each one, and it'll, 2 levels of dim, whatever. SOS and service. I don't know what the actual difference is there. You got a mirror. Well, here's my lovely high school picture that my wife put here. It's you got a mirror. Hello. Oh my god, I can't believe she put that there. It makes me cringe every time I see it. You got the shade. Oops, I opened it fully. It scares me because one time we accidentally cracked it right when we were in here in a car wash. But yeah, so you got nice sunroof. Swipe to close. So I accidentally double swiped, that's why that opened. Close, and then you can close the shade. I almost never keep it open, because why would you want the sun? I don't know. maybe at night or something. Yeah, okay, so that's the interior. Do a super quick look at the app because my wife has given me the it's time to get going look. Volvo Cars app is nice. It's no Tesla app, but it's nice. Oh, you know what? Oh, okay. I'm still on the house Wi-Fi, but I'm a little far away. You can do things like unlock the car, which is cool when you don't have the keys on you. God, it's going slow because I'm getting connected. You can do the climate precondition. You can set the timer. You can set it to turn on. This will also trigger battery preconditioning when you're leaving for a trip. So if we're leaving tomorrow at 8 a.m., you can set, it'll precondition the cabin and the battery. Only if you do the timer. Sorry, this is hard to manipulate one-handed and left-handed. Get off the Wi-Fi and see if that makes it better. Well, this is not a good... Okay, let me try this again. I like how I'm like, the app's pretty good, and then it freezes on me. And then you can see your charging. You can set charge schedule. I only do that if I'm trying to make sure it doesn't get all the way to 100 overnight before we're ready to go. See when it's gonna be done. You can see location. You can see your vehicle stats. You can explore your manual, and you can do some other things. So it's a decent app. It's you know, it's useful. Oh, and then one other quick thing: steering wheel heat and seat heater is right here. For the driver, it's 2 buttons because you have the steering wheel heat. For the passenger, it's just tap it. But you can also do the Hey G. So you can do turn on steering wheel heat to level 2.
Got it. Changing the steering wheel heater to 2.
And there you go, steering wheel heat's on. It is a very toasty steering wheel. All right, I think that's gonna do it for the interior of the video, the interior and exterior of the car. We'll jump in and we'll try to find some fun roads. We'll talk about road tripping, we'll talk about highway driving, we'll talk about daily driving. So thank you so much for sticking with me so far. Don't forget to throw me a like if you like the video, or comment if you have any questions about the XC40. Again, this is a 2023 model. So yeah, let's jump in and do some driving. All right, we're gonna see how this works. I don't know if this angle's any good. Let's go for a drive. We're gonna go pick up Thai food. DTK Thai Kitchen in Asheville. 54% on arrival, 50% on return. That's one thing I like. Shift in reverse. Got a nice, very nice backup camera. Very clear. You got the 360 surround cam. Front angle is very fun for like off-roading. A very aggressive rear parking or rear brake that you gotta remember to turn off every time, like if you have a hitch carrier and you're backing into a charging station, for example. But once you turn it off, it stays off for the entire trip until the car cycles off and on, which is basically when you get off or get out of the car. So driving on this little gravel road, it's very nice, very comfortable, very smooth. This, I believe it's dual 150 kilowatt motors, front and rear, so equal power distributed front and rear, which makes it very nice to drive in rain or snow. Makes it very confidence inspiring. It's very quick. This thing gets up to speed quick, and when it's at speed, like if you're on the highway and you need to go for a pass or anything, it accelerates on the top end quickly too, which is nice. Suspension could be softer. I don't know. Like, it's nice because you can get on, man, up and down here in North Carolina on some of these curvy roads. You can have a lot of fun, and this thing is just planted. It just feels so good. It feels so confident going around turns at high speeds, or, you know, reasonable speeds, not being safe and everything, but it's very fun. But going over bumps, you know, coming out of a Land Rover LR2, which is pretty soft and big. Smaller wheels, I think they're 18-inch wheels, but bigger tires, bigger, you know, the sidewalls on the tires are much bigger. So they're a little more comfortable over bumps, and also the suspension on that is just a little softer. You can feel the body roll more. That's fine. You're not going around corners quickly on a Land Rover generally. I mean, it gets up to speed very nicely, but it's very smooth and satisfying acceleration. One pedal driving, I haven't even bothered to try the non-one pedal driving. It took a minute to get used to, but now that I'm used to it, especially in the mountain roads going downhill, it's so nice to not ride the brake and instead just modulate with the throttle. We just went to an herb nursery that's the coolest place in the world. Not the coolest place in the world, but one of my favorite places to go to in Asheville. It's called Sandy Mush Herb Nursery. It's actually in Leicester, which is where we are right now, which is just west of Asheville. It is this herb nursery, flower, plant nursery up on a mountain, and you got to take this really fun road to get up there. So you got the one pedal driving. Now going down a hill, the one pedal, you will kind of have to give it some help. So I give it a little bit of brakes there. And then it blends in the friction brakes very nicely. So yeah, just general driving. It is very nice to drive. If you're familiar with driving a car, it will drive very similar to an ICE vehicle, except for the acceleration and the one pedal driving. The acceleration is immediate and very quick, and the one pedal driving, if you're not used to it, is jarring. So just go more than 5, 7 over the speed limit here because there have been a lot of cops on this road. So yeah, just while we're doing this, we'll turn on adaptive cruise with the lane centering. It's nice. I find it really nice on these roads for daily driving. If you're on a road like this, in a situation like this, if I turn signal, it will start to speed up as I'm passing. Keep me centered. Yeah, if you're familiar with driving a car, it'll drive like a car. It feels really good. You don't really have to think about it too much. The only things that are different are you don't have to turn it off when you get out. You just get out of the car, it turns off automatically. And actually, if you forget to put it in park somehow, when you get out, it automatically puts it in park. And then when you get in, sit in the driver's seat, it automatically turns on. So for daily driving, this car is so nice. Let's talk efficiency. So today we've driven 50 miles, 48.6 miles. We're sitting at 318 watt per mile. It's not great. That's actually good for this car. We're getting really good efficiency here in the mountains because the speeds are relatively low. But driving in the mountains is amazing. Very smooth up and down hills, and the efficiency's been good. So we're about true to the range right now. So 220 miles on 100% charge. We've been charging to 90 all week because we're on vacation. Usually at home we charge to 80. It's been great. We haven't been really. There's free charging in Asheville, which has been nice. There is free charging in Bryson City, which is nice. There are DC fast chargers around here as well. We haven't had to use them because we haven't gone very far. But for a daily driver, this is a great car. If you're driving, less than 100 miles a day, it's amazing. And you have a level 2 charger at home. We actually don't. We just plug into the wall. But we don't drive that much every day. Maybe 20 miles a day because I work from home. But as a daily driver, I highly recommend this car. It's very comfortable. It's very fun to drive in all weather conditions. No questions asked, I would recommend this car. Especially the 2024 models have even more range and faster charging. Let's see, there's one of those friendly policemen stick to 5 or 6 over the speed limit. Let's see, the adaptive cruise will bring me to a stop right here. And it's kind of nice because it'll kind of creep a little bit just so it stays on until you get, and then when you get too close to the person, it'll stop. And then you'll have to reset it, like return it back on. So I don't know if you can see, but it just shut off. So now when I start again, I can resume it. Other daily driving things, it's just, there's no questions. It's just a great daily driver. We've had this in snow, pretty good snow up in Michigan and out in Chicago where we live. We've had it in, we had the I can't think of the name, the cold weather cyclone, the bomb cyclone, whatever they called it, coming down from the Arctic blast down into Chicago. It was negative 15 degrees and we were out driving this car and it was totally fine. We preconditioned it in the garage and it would be nice and toasty for us. Charging was very slow, but that's fine. And the efficiency was pretty bad. I mean, it was up in the 400s, 400 watt-hour per mile on just daily driving stuff, which is not good. It's very good in the rain. It is good off-road. You know, we took it on a pretty, it's not like a serious off-roading car, but we took it on a good, we'd call it kind of a trail to get to this nursery earlier today. It was no questions asked. It was great. The front camera was super helpful. Let's talk road tripping a little bit. We are currently in North Carolina. We live in Chicago. That was a 670-ish mile trip. We broke the way down here. We broke it up into two because we stayed in Cincinnati at my parents' house. So it was about a 315 or so, and then a 300 plus the next day. On the way home, we were going to go straight home. So it's going to be 13 hours of driving, 600, and I think it's 660 or 670 miles total. This car is very comfortable on road trips. Storage space isn't amazing. If you're two people with a kid, it's fine. We're two people with a baby and a dog. The storage is not great in that situation. It's not big, so we have the hitch carrier. But driving it is great. It's great on the highway. It's super smooth. There's a Mustang Mach-E right over there. Seen mostly Hyundai and Kia EVs here, and Teslas obviously. But a lot of Ioniq 5s and a handful of EV6s. Saw 2 EV9s, which was exciting for me. I assume that's because here in the mountains there is Kia and Hyundai dealerships, and there's not many other EV dealerships, or any other dealerships that sell EVs. Of course, Teslas are all over the place. No Lightnings, which surprised me because there's trucks everywhere. Okay, getting sidetracked again. Road trips, super comfortable. You can comfortably go, well, I don't know about comfortably. You can stretch it to about 180 miles, and that'll use 85-ish% of your battery. So if your first stop is 180 miles away and the weather is decent and you don't have a headwind and it's not snowing or raining or freezing cold, you can do it. Otherwise, you're going to be going more like 150 miles per stretch, depending on how the chargers are spaced out. Sometimes, they're just spaced out where you're going to be going even less than that. So you're driving a couple hours, 2.5 hours at a time, which for me is totally fine. I am so used to just pushing it on long stretches on road trips. You can't quite do that anymore. Now we have a baby anyway, so as you've heard me mention over and over again, if you've watched any of our road trip videos, with the baby you have to stop anyway, and you have to stop longer. So anybody with kids knows, your stops aren't just gonna be quick 10-minute stops, even if that's what the route planning says. So it works out for us because we generally have to stop. When we do stop, we have yet to have an issue charging. I don't want to jinx myself, knock on wood. We've yet to have an issue charging on. We've charged on EA, EV Connect, Charge Point. I've not done EV Go yet. I think we'll hit one on the way home. Pilot Flying J, which I'm excited about. The Mercedes branded Charge Point at Buc-ee's. No issues at any of them. Immediate ramps up to top speed. Top speed on this car is 150 kilowatts. I have seen 159 delivered to the car is the most I've seen. Generally, it'll ramp right up to 155 quickly and easily. The charging curve is okay. I think what I've observed is, I think I had a recording that was 18 to 81% or something, and I was like 30 something minutes. It's not the quickest. It's really not. So it's okay if you're running in to go to the bathroom or change a baby, especially, because then you're going to get back up to 80% anyway. Or feeding a baby, or if you have kids, multiple kids, and they're all going to the bathroom or they want snacks or whatever. Or if you go to Buc-ee's, I dare you to try to get out of there in less than 20 minutes anyway. So it's not the best charging car at all. You know, if it were, I bought this car for my wife for Christmas because she liked it. She actually liked it, this car. She liked the way it looks, and she loves the sage green. I just wanted an EV. So and this was one that I knew that would work for us. You know, I would have preferred EV6 was really the one I wanted. Now I'd love like a Rivian R1S or something just because of the size. But yeah, EV6 or Ioniq 5 was what I kind of wanted, which obviously would charge about half the time. Which, you know, would be nice. We wouldn't use it all that often because, again, we're going slow anyway. It will be interesting on my trip down to Florida. I will be solo for the ride down there. My wife will be flying with our daughter, and I will be driving solo. Well, with Oatly, the doggy, and maybe we'll have a puppy by then. We're looking to get a Great Pyrenees. So maybe we'll have a puppy. But, oh my God! Look at all this traffic coming back. I mean, I live in Chicago, so like traffic is no stranger to me, but man, this Asheville traffic is so annoying. I think it's probably because people, oh, there's an Ioniq 5 in there, so I think it's because people drive so bad here. If you live in Asheville, what is the deal with the drivers in Asheville? Maybe it's a North Carolina thing in general, but it's so irritating. They just pull out in front of you, they don't use turn signals. Okay, getting sidetracked again. Road trips, charging. It's decent. It's good enough for now. Now, in the future, I would love to get an EV9. EV9, EX90, Volvo EX90, or R1S are kind of my top three. Now, I can't afford any of those cars right now. So maybe in the future, I'll be able to. Or pick one up pre-owned like this one, which just happened to come at the right time. It was a great deal. But one of those would be my next. Any of those would charge better. Now R1S, R1T don't charge that great. They charge pretty good. They got pretty good top speed, but the batteries are so big, you're still charging for 30-40 minutes. Let's see what else road trip wise. It really hasn't been too many complaints on road trips. The adaptive cruise is nice. It's not the best in stop and go traffic because it leaves pretty big gaps for people to cut you off. Now, as I get older, I'm trying to just not worry about that so much, but it is hard for me. It drives me nuts. But yeah, it leaves a pretty big gap. Now this, it is relative to your speed. So when you're on like a highway going 70, on a 70 or 75 mile per hour speed limit highway, it will leave a bigger gap than like this highway is 50 miles an hour. So it will leave a smaller gap, which is nice. It's, you know, it's a safety thing. Leave a bigger gap so the car can stop. And it does brake pretty aggressively. It's like if somebody cuts you off and slows down, it'll brake pretty aggressively. Now, like, see, watch here. Wow, okay, that didn't that didn't break at all. I had to intervene there. Interesting. Thank you, Mr. Chevy. Okay, that was a big fail by the pilot. Yeah, that threw me off. So yeah, I mean, it's nice on the highway, especially just adaptive cruise is really all I need. A lot of times I'll turn the steering off. Unless, I'll keep it on, but I'll still steer, and it's just kind of like a backup for safety. Because if you take your hands off the wheel, or it gives you about 4 seconds of not putting any input into the wheel before it beeps at you. They're pretty aggressive with the alerts and see, this is the gap it's leaving here at 45 miles an hour. That's a pretty big gap. Now, if I were driving, if I were controlling it, I would leave a little bit of a smaller gap. Not that big of a deal, but I don't find myself using it as much in traffic. What else road trip wise? Drive like an Ashevillean here and get over it quickly. Road trip wise, it's nice to have Spotify easily built in and be able to use voice assistant to play it. The climate control works very good. It's nice. I wish they had dog mode. I know Volvo has said like they think it's a safety issue, so they're not going to do it. I guess they don't want to encourage people to leave their. There goes an ID4. I haven't seen too many of those around here actually. That's a nice color. It's like a dark blue. I like that. It's like a safety issue, so they're not going to do dog mode. It kind of sucks. Dog mode's cool. Now what you can do is you can do the preconditioning. It'll stay on for a half hour at a time, and like I said, it sets it to 72 miles or 72 degrees. Here, I'll get behind this ID4. Yeah, that's a very nice color. I like that. It's like dark blue. It's kind of the color of my Land Rover. So you can leave. Like one of the charges on the way down here was at Kodak, Tennessee, which is by a Bass Pro Shop. So we went to Bass Pro Shop to change the baby and look around. Well, what I did was just blast because it was about 80 degrees. What is this person doing? I just blasted the AC for 10 minutes while we were still in the car to get it as cool as possible, because I knew we were going to leave the dog. And then we left the preconditioning going. Oh, there's an Ioniq 5 at Plant. That restaurant is awesome. Vegan restaurant. Very cool restaurant. Yeah, and that was fine. We got back and the car was still nice and cold because it was blowing cool air, cooler than the outside air, and we had really cooled the cabin down prior to that, so that was fine. We were in there for like 10-15 minutes. She was totally fine. I do wish you could control it, but can't always get what you want. You get what you need. I'm trying to think anything else road trip wise. I believe this lane turns into a left turn. Yeah, what else? Oh, we got a car stopped here in the middle of the lane. Now I gotta cut somebody off. Okay, sorry people, I'm gonna cut somebody off. Oh, they're just getting over. Well, sorry. This van looks like he wants to let me over. Alright, come on, Volvo. Volvo friends. Okay, Volvo friend, I'm getting in front of you. I'm sorry. I'm displaying some poor driving habits on this drive, but I'm sorry. So yeah, I would highly recommend this as a road tripper. You're not going to be breaking any cannonball records, but you'll have a good time. You'll be comfortable, and you will be safe. You'll get to your destination safely. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up the driving. If I think of anything later, I'll add it. I highly recommend you check out our road trip videos if you're interested in the car, if you're interested in charging infrastructure, especially in the Midwest area, since that's where we're located. But yeah, check out our videos. We've done some fun trips, and we've got a really fun one coming up, driving all the way to Florida. I'll be doing that solo. So that one I will be trying to kind of maximize or optimize our stops and charge stops. It'll be me and Oatley, and then Lily and Baby will drive back with us. So yeah, thanks for joining. This is fun. This is, you know, kind of just a rambly video talking about the car, but if you're interested in Volvos or you know, the XC40 Recharge specifically, shoot me any questions. I love chatting about them. It's a fun car. I'm really happy that we have it, and I think I'm gonna go check out an EX90 at our local dealership next week, which I'm super excited about. So yeah, thanks for joining. Shoot me a like if you like. If you made it this far, wow, you're amazing, and you are probably my wife who watches all my videos. But if you've made it this far, thank you. Shoot me a like. Yeah, we got more road trips coming. So yeah, that'll do it for this 5,000 mile review of the Volvo XC40 Recharge. Basically, if you're interested in this car, go for it. It's very fun. It's very comfortable, and I definitely recommend it. So beep beep, have a good time. See ya on the road.